Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to a brand new series of Kerbal Space Program. Oh yeah, I've been looking forward to this one. I've done two having a cracks whilst the game's been in development. I did one quite early on when there was only really a sandbox mode, and I did another one later on when they brought out the career mode. Now it's been a little while since they first brought that out, so it should be well and truly established now, and that's what we're going to do for this series. If you don't know what this game is, basically it's a space simulator thing where you have to build rockets, explore your planets and the moons and all that stuff. I will say now, I think this game is not easy. There's a lot of games where you can go into the game and you run around and you can just smash that troll, the smallest troll you can find, in the face repeatedly until it dies, and then you just do another one, and eventually you'll get lots of XP just by repeating. This game doesn't really give you that. You actually have to succeed to get anywhere, and if you go wrong, it's quite unforgiving in some ways. But let's go to start a new game. There we go. This is a new game screen. Let's start a brand new game, and we're going to go player default. Now, normally, of course, I am Master Hellish, but we're going to change that a little bit because, of course, I'm going to be the commander of this space program. So we're going to have Commander Hellish. There we go, Commander Hellish. We need a flag. I think there's lots of different ones to choose from here. I might try and put one of my own in, but I think for now, what I'm going to do, we're going to have the capsule. That's nice and clear and simple. I think clear flags are some of the best flags. There we go. Just noticed a typo there. Commander Hellish. There we go. So there are, like I said before, there's a sandbox mode. You can play, you get all the components. You don't have to do research and development. You don't have to worry about money or reputation. There's science, which you have as much money and you don't have to worry about reputation, but to unlock new technologies you have to gather science points, which is quite cool. I think that's a nice intermediate one, but we're going for the full-blown career. In this mode, we have to manage our funds, our reputation, and we have to get science points in order to achieve new stuff. So, here we go. Difficulty options is set to normal. Let's have a quick look at that. Oh my word. So it says allow reverting flights, allow quick loading, missing crew respawn. I'm not quite sure what that is. I guess new crew come back. Auto hire crew members before flight. No. Oh, actually, there's a few of these options. I think is a little bit. Actually, normal is not the middle one. Moderate's the middle one there. So allow reverting of flights and allow quick loading, but don't respawn missing crew. Don't auto-hire crew before a flight. No entry parachute required on research. Not quite sure what that one is. Indestructible facilities. Allow stock vessels. No, we're going to all of that off. There's penalties and stuff here. There's lots of options. We've got starting funds are quite low. I think what we'll do, we'll stick with normal. But I don't want to automatically hire crew members. I want to be able to hire my own crew, and I don't want missing crew to respawn. Yeah, there we go. I think we're no entry purchase required on research. We'll leave it like that. I've been playing on normal as a test to test this game. I just wanted to turn off those couple of options there, I think. Just thinking. No, because we can... Right, okay, we're just going for normal. We're not going to mess around with the settings. Normal. And here we are. This is the Kerbal Space Center. And let's have a quick look around. So over here we've got the launch pad. That's where all our big rockets are going to be coming from. You can see the runway in the background there. Attached to the runway we've got our space plane hangar. Near that, astronaut complex where we can get our new astronauts. We'll be visiting there sometime later. We've got an administration building which we won't be going to just yet. It's kind of you need money to invest in projects in the administration building, and we haven't really got any. We've only got 25,000 credits, which for a space agency is not a lot of money. Research and development, we'll check that in a second. This one is our tracking station. There's our main vehicle assembly building in the middle for building our rockets, and just at the back there is mission control. So, we've got no science points, so it's pointless going to our research and development. We won't go there just yet, but what we will do is we'll head off to mission control and find out what contracts we can pick up, because contracts are a good way to earn science points and earn reputation and earn money. You get extra stuff for doing that, and the more science points we get, the more we can unlock. So, for this series, my focus at the beginning is primarily to get science points. The more science points I can get, the better. But then, after that, we're going to start doing things like putting satellites in, and we're going to make spaceships and go to different planets and stuff. We're going to start doing what we want to do once we've got the points and money to get there. So, first things first, hello there. Now, we've got a few contracts here. Let's see, the contract, who's this from? It's from the Kerbal World. I can't read that. It's a bit small on my screen. The Kerbin World First Record Keeping Society. Oh, actually, it says it there in text. I was trying to read it off the banner. Okay, so this contract never expires. We just have to set an altitude record for this one. There's another one here that's also a rating of 1 star in terms of difficulty. We just have to launch any vessel, which I think is brilliant. So let's set that. We're going to launch a vessel. Oh, yeah. Indeed. And we're going to set an altitude record. Yeah, thumbs up for that one. Escape the atmosphere. That should be a nice one to work on. We get an advance of 9,000 credits, and we get lots of credits on completion. Now, it says here, failure, right? Now, it says, I don't understand this, right? Because it says there's a failure penalty, but there's no failure clause. There's nothing that says how we can fail. So, let's accept that. All right, yeah. And then there's one here called Orbit Kerbin. Now, this one apparently never expires as well. I don't see any clock on it, so there's no reason why we wouldn't take that now and take the funding, take the money. Indeed. Well, there we are. We've cleared out all the contracts, and we've got 51,000 credits to play around with. Let's exit mission control here. And now we need to make our first rocket. So, to the vehicle assembly building. Here we are in the vehicle assembly building. We're going to do our first craft. Now, here on the left-hand side, this is where we've got all the different options. And what I'm going to do, as I go through this series, every time I do something for the first time, I'm going to try and explain what I'm doing, why, and how the game works. But then I will probably not explain that again. There's no point in repeating myself. This isn't a tutorial. This is me having I'm having a play. This is a let's play. That's what we're doing. So yeah, on the left hand side here we've got our different command modules. At the minute we've only got one. It's got a command, which means we need crew of 1 to operate. It's got reaction wheels, which helps us keep in line. The SAS is equipped there. Now the SAS is what controls the vessel and keeps it true. It keeps it going nice and straight as long as it can handle the torque. There's electrical charge in there and monopropellant, so we need that. So there we go. One command pod. I'm just going to move it up a bit. Now the next thing on the list is propulsion. You can see we've got fuel tanks, solid boosters, and a fuel engine. Control, we don't have anything. Structural, we just have this girder. That's it. Aerodynamic, we have nothing. Utility, we have a parachute. Let's put a parachute on it. And then science, we have a communitron. It's a little antenna, allows us to transmit stuff. I'm not interested in that at the moment. And that's it. That's pretty much all the parts we've got at the moment. So it's really, really basic. So I'm going to just put a little fuel tank on here. maybe we go with 2 fuel tanks, a liquid fuel engine, there we go, and then a solid booster on the side. Okay, we're going to click this button down here, which activates symmetry mode, allows us to put a couple of extra items on. There we go. We'll have it this way around. There we go. Okay, so this is our first spacecraft. We're building it to fulfill contracts, so I'm going to call it Contract Craft Mark 1. There we go, Mark 1. It's a Contract Craft Mark 1. We're going to save it, and we're going to head off to the launch pad. Yeah, let's do that. So here we are on our launch pad with our first little rocket here. You see our first member of crew is in the bottom right hand corner here. Jebediah Kerbin is on the launch pad in the command pod. Now the one thing that I forgot to do was arrange the staging. Now we have to sort this out properly. We want the solid boosters to fire first, followed by the liquid engine, then the parachute later. Now we just want to get as high as possible. There's not much we can do. Let's turn the SAS on. That's this little bit down here. It keeps the ship nice and stable. We're going to throttle down on the left hand side of this wheel in the middle the liquid engine to begin with, because I don't want it to jerk off at launch. And we're just going to press spacebar, and that's going to activate these modules on here, and we'll launch. So here we go. There we are, nice smooth launch. I'm going to gently increase the throttle on that fuel engine in the middle. There we are. You can't see it very well, but that fuel engine there, it's getting red. It's getting there. It's quite loud. And up it goes. Now we need to achieve 5,000 meters to get the second contract, which we have. Let's just have a look at the contracts here. We need to reach space to actually qualify for the final contract. Now we're slowing down. We're going through the atmosphere here. Now that's it. We're out of fuel, and our craft is going to be going back down very shortly. You can see this, the speed at the top here, where speed's just going below 500 meters per second. The thing is though, the higher we get, the thinner the atmosphere gets, and also the less the gravity is. So our speed will not slow down quite as much as you may think at first. We're still going at 300 meters per second. We're not quite. We're at 30,000 meters, 30 kilometers. We have to get 70 kilometers to count as being in space. Don't think we're going to make that. Not on this run. Well, whilst we're floating around up here, let's just right click on this hatch here, and we can see a few different options. We can see reaction wheels, we can control it, we rename it, do torque and stuff, but we're going to do a crew report. Here we go. It says here your crew report from Kerbin's upper atmosphere, and we record the assessment of the situation. We're going to get some science points for that, so we'll keep that data. We are on our way back down again now, so we didn't quite reach space with our first flight, but there we go, not too bad. At least we didn't explode, which is a very, very real possibility. Let's just take this opportunity to have a nice little look round. So we can just see the space centre there, 30 kilometres beneath us. There's a mountain range near here. There's some higher mountains at the top there, and there's some islands over there. We'll explore most of them in the coming episodes. Looks like we're going to be landing right next to our space centre. Currently falling at a speed of 400 meters per second. It's going to be climbing up. 20 kilometers up we are now, and we're just coming up to 500 meters per second. We're nearly coming down faster than we went up. Nah, it's not quite right. And we're getting close to the point where I think I need to I'm going to open up this parachute now, so I'm going to press space. There we are. The parachute gets deployed, but it doesn't open up properly until you're higher than until you're about 500 meters just above the ground. So you can see it's kind of in its not fully deployed state, our speed has slowed down significantly. It still is doing. We were at 500 meters per second. We're nearly at 150, which is really good because we don't want to be going fast when we hit the ground. We want to be going extremely slowly. This game has a lot of moments in like this where nothing is actually happening. I mean, this is the first time we've gone up and down, so I'm explaining a few things, but it has got time dilation in it. So if we want to, we can just touch the controls here and speed up time. Now you see the top left hand corner, those are the time warp functions. You need to use that with care. But we're about to hit 500 meters and the chute's about to open. There it goes. We pulled a significant amount of G-force there. It was around 12 Gs. Which is a phenomenal, really. It's quite an amount of G-force when that opened. And we're landing right next to the complex here. We get actually a better view of the space centre. And all the different components and areas. There's our little flag outside the complex. But hopefully this is going to land quite nicely. It's going down at 11 meters per second, which is a bit quick for my liking. We might have a problem. Yeah, the bottom engine blew off. I thought that might happen. I probably should have put another 2 parachutes on here and here. But let's recover the vessel and head back to the space complex. So, we're back at the space complex. There's a mission summary. We got a crew report from the upper atmosphere, which got us science. We recovered a vessel that survived a flight. Well, most of it survived it anyway. We got 5 science for that. We got all these parts back. We did not get the rocket engine, unfortunately. And, of course, Jebediah is back and available for the next mission. Now, what I'm going to do is we didn't quite go up high enough there. We've got some notifications here on the right side where we got our contracts were complete. We've got 5 science for that being complete. We're up to 13 science now. We're getting there. I'd like to get up a little higher. So what I'm going to do is slightly redesign our first craft. And we're going to have another launch. Okie dokie, so here we are back on the launch pad. We've still got to reach space. The vehicle looks very much similar. The only difference is I put another fuel tank in there and some more parachutes. Now this extra added weight means we won't get as much kablamo out of our initial thrust, but I'm hoping the extra fuel will get us just that little bit further and into space. So Jebediah is ready for his second trip into space. I'm going to turn the SAS on. I'm going to turn the liquid fuel right down to begin with, and we are going to launch. Okay, so here we go. Off it goes, and we'll see how high we can get. Right now, our liquid fuel is just about to run out, and there it goes. It's out, but we're already at 30,000 meters. Let's have a look at the orbit map. Here we go. Now, what's the maximum it's predicting us? Oh, wow. It's saying we're going to get up to 105 kilometers up into space. Let's go back. Here we go. Yeah, we're going to make space this time. That extra fuel tank did the job. Jebediah looks well happy down there. Yeah, look at him swinging his arms around. Hey, yes. Yeah, okay, Jebediah, calm down. The first Kerbin into space. Jebediah, well done. We're not in space just yet, but we're going to be very, very soon. 63, 64, our speed is slowing down, but we're still above 700 meters per second and going up. And bam, there we are. We're in space. If we just check the contracts, you can see that reach space is now green. We've got our message. We've got 15 science points and a load of money. Fantastic. Well, the only thing that's left to do now is to land this. We've already landed one this episode, so what I'll do is I'll just wait for this to drop down, launch the parachutes, and we'll just watch to see if we can do that last bit of landing. So, here we are in the last stages of landing. You can see we're further away from the space complex this time. There's our shadow on the ground. And this time, we've got extra weight of the fuel tank. We've got an extra fuel tank. But this time, apparently, we're going at 7.5 meters per second. Now, I'm hoping that the engine at the bottom will survive this landing. I'm fairly certain the whole craft will. I mean, it's not going too quick there, so hopefully it will. We've still got a little way to go, so I'm just going to speed up time slightly. There we go. Bring the time back to normal just before we hit the ground. There we go. And touchdown soon? Oh! Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. That wasn't a very good landing at all. We lost one of the rockets, and we lost one of the fuel engines. It was quite hefty, that landing. We need better equipment to make better rockets, but Jebediah survived, and that's the important thing. Let's recover the vessel and head back for the last bits. So here we go. We're getting +8 science for the recovery of a vessel after its suborbital flight. We're getting most of the parts back, not all of them. And we've, of course, Jebediah's back too. Let's just go to our center over here. We're tracking different objects. We've got some debris that crash landed. Where's the space center? I've lost the space center. I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. There's the space center there. The debris is there as well. That's what disconnected from the pod. Hopefully we'll get some money back from that. But there's a lot of places to explore here. The rivers. I want to explore the rivers. That would be quite cool. Nice deserts. That would be good. South Pole, North Pole. We're going to do all that sort of thing. The Highlands. There's a very weird anomaly somewhere on the planet. There, this bit here. It looks like a massive impact crater many years ago. But yes, less of that. Let's recover this debris. There we go. We should get some money back for that. And here we are back at the complex. So everything's back and sorted. Jebediah has done 2 trips. Managed to get into space. We've only got 1 contract at the minute, which is achieve orbit. We won't really be able to do that with the equipment we've got so far, but we have now got 36 science points. So let's just go to the research and development department and spend them. So here we go. This is what we get to begin with, all the parts. We have literally got 5, 6, 7 parts. That's it. That's all we get to start. But then there's this. Basic rocketry. Gives us a better fuel tank, a bigger fuel tank. Gives us stacked decouplers and mystery goo containment units. So it costs us 5 research for that. So let's buy it. Bam! And that's unlocked general rocketry, stability, and survivability. Now, to be honest, these radial parachutes on here I think are brilliant. They're so useful in so many different situations. Although these rockets would be quite cool to have as well. We've got enough science points to actually open up 2 of these. So let's open up survivability. That's going to cost us... Oh, it might not be enough. We've got 15 research for that one. How much does general rocketry cost? Now general rocketry costs 20. So we can't quite unlock that one yet. But we have managed to unlock several components. We've unlocked 4 there. And we've unlocked 3 there. And I think a lot of them are going to be very useful for our first target, which is to achieve orbit. Well, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching the first 2 flights of the Kerbal space program. If you've got any thoughts, ideas, or any questions, pop them down in the comments. And as always, if you've enjoyed the video, remember to give it a like. But Jebediah is going to have a break for now, as am I, and I will see you next time. So, it's goodbye from me. Ta-ra!